Almost live from Studio 315 in the luxury towers of Cord Hall on the historic campus of St. John's Northwestern Academies. It's time for the latest edition of Lancer News Network with Donnie Austin, Philip Austin, Jamie Curtis, John Kinsella, Jack Kirschner, George Park, Alex Romero, and Sophia Tung. Inform, unify, entertain. This is LNN.
Good morning, Lancers. I'm Philip Austin. Today is Monday, April 19th, 2021. Welcome and thanks for watching. In today's episode, we find out a little about our Excalibur and our own sports team, as well as give some recognition to an amazing accomplishment by one of our own athletes. First, here is Alexander Romero with a look at this week's weather.
Thank you, Phil. The week isn't going to be as nice as we hoped it would be. It's going to be a cloudy weekend considering the summer's coming up. But we are going to get a little break on Wednesday. During the beginning of the week, we're going to be starting around the low 50s and it'll get higher as we go, reaching a maximum of 57 on Friday. And during the night times, we're looking at around mid to low 30s, and it'll also get higher in the week, reaching even a 39 on Friday. And for our Asia, 69 degrees in Shanghai, China, 68 degrees in Seoul, Korea. For our Polish students, we're looking at a chill 60 in Warsaw, Poland. And in Mexico, it looks like you guys are going to be enjoying the sunlight with a cool 81 degrees.
Thanks, Alex. Well, did you know that SJNA has our own esports team? Here's a look at what they're up to. Hello, today I am here with Joseph Lapotnuk Lopez, a member of the Rocket League team. If you love video games and are interested in interacting with classmates after school, please contact the director, Mr. Pickleman, at jpickleman@sjnacademies.org. From the athletic departments, a reminder that spring sports, including baseball, golf, and track and field, start today. Make sure you're in attendance and on time to get the season started off right. And speaking of athletics, we'd like to wish a big congratulations to Brandon Podzinski, who has helped put SJN sports back on the map.
Wisconsin's Mr. Basketball winner is coming to Champaign. Brandon Podzinski announces today that he is committing to Illinois, picking the Illini ahead of a top 5 of Kentucky, Miami, Florida, Vanderbilt, and Wake Forest. The 6'6" shooting guard is a 4-star recruit ranked 72nd in the country, according to 24/7 Sports. Podzinski scored more than 2,200 points in 3 years of varsity basketball, averaging 35 a game. This past year as a senior, the left-handed sharpshooter also averaged 10 rebounds, 5 assists, and 4 steals per game.
Great stuff. We know you'll continue to make the SJN community proud. Cadets and students, could you use an extra $1,000 toward your tuition? Refer a friend or family member to become a part of the SJNA family, and you could do just that. To qualify, the new student's family must sign a contract for the current academic year. Even midterms qualify. Complete all enrollment paperwork and pay the tuition amount in full. Physically arrive on campus as a cadet/student within SJNA and remain enrolled for a period of at least 90 days. You have to make sure they put your name on the application for the question, "How did you hear about us?" Otherwise, no payment will be granted. Once all that has been verified, both the new and the current cadet or student will receive $1,000 credited to each account. Easy money, right? And here's a look at world news with our own George Park.
Today, regardless of the pandemic, there are some big events that we might need to check. I give the news worldwide, starting from Iran. Iran concentrated on 60% of uranium and increased nuclear threat to other Middle East Asia, while President Joe Biden officially said this problem can be handled between Iran and America. Next up, Myanmar citizens is still struggling to fight against a military force which gained power after having a coup d'etat. Even though many citizens were arrested or killed, they are still fighting for their country's democratization. In East Asia, Japan is heavily criticized for claiming to abandon radioactive waste into the sea. Lastly, United Kingdom started vaccination and is hoping for recovering its economy.
Hi, my name is Sophia Tung, and recently I interviewed Mr. Otto about his new courses he was going to teach next year. What course do you teach?
I'm going to be teaching Foundations of Public Safety. Essentially, it's a course that I'm going to be teaching through Lake Country Fire and Rescue Training Center as one of their instructors here on campus.
So what are your plans for your course next year?
So the plans are to kind of take an interactive approach to learning about the public safety system here in our communities. So we'll be looking at a variety of different aspects of it, all the way from law enforcement to corrections and dispatching to the fire and emergency medical services side as well.
What are your goals for your course next year?
So my goal for the course is to be able to teach the students and cadets the various aspects of public safety, so that if they're ever introduced to a situation where they are in some type of emergency, they will know how the system will work, and that they can be comfortable in speaking with the various different responders and pieces of the system that will be assisting them in that emergency.
Can you list an example?
For example, if one of their family members has a medical emergency or something like that, teaching them that when they call 911, they're going to talk to a dispatcher. This is the type of experience they're going to get with that. These are the questions they may ask, and here's why they may ask these things. The interactions they may have with, law enforcement then, when law enforcement shows up to the medical situation, because they're usually in the area and they're usually the ones that respond first. And then the final piece of teaching them how the fire department and other emergency medical services will, treat and care for their loved one, as well as the follow-up then on the back half with the hospital as well.
And finally, why do you think this course will benefit the students at St. John's?
I think this course will benefit the students at St. John's because it's going to give them the opportunity to get a different, unique, and more practical version of a life skill that, I feel everybody should have some kind of knowledge of the public safety system, because it's something that truly could be a life or death moment in their future, and something that most individuals will have contact with at some point in their life.
All right, thank you, Mr. Otto.
On Wednesday, April 14th, 2021, the first annual Battle of the Bots took place in the Farron Hall Gymnasium. 7 contestants entered their bots in the huge battle, but it was David the Giant Killer who came out on top. Congratulations to all the contestants, and thank you so much to Mr. Sharf's POE class for entertaining the crowd, and for the students, faculty, staff, and other spectators who came to enjoy and support. And now it's time for Donnie and Phil's Dunk of the Week!
Don't forget that Families Weekend is this weekend. Make sure you know where to be and when for all this weekend's events, and communicate with RFOs and advisors if you plan on taking any sort of off-campus leave. This also means that progress reports are coming out at the end of the week, so make sure all your work is turned in and done to your absolute best quality. Make it a weekend to remember, not one to forget. And speaking of Families Weekend, the Academy's biggest annual fundraiser takes place this weekend.
Hey, bye.
What's up?
Oh, nothing much, but did you hear that for Break Jam this weekend? On April 24th, the Excalibur is happening.
Excalibur, what's that?
Oh, you haven't heard about the Excalibur?
Maybe switch.
Well, it's this really cool auctioning thing for the school to get donations. And I heard that the price for tickets are $90, but for students and staff, it's $65. Pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
Things you could win at the Excalibur include a TV, a company ice cream party, a company cookout at Sergeant Spritzer's house, a Les Paul electric guitar, and dinner with Sergeant Trioni for 4 cadets and students.
Wow!
Thanks, Jamie. Well, that's all for today's episode. I'm Philip Austin for the Lancer News Network. Inform, unify, entertain. Thank you for watching.